Well, sort of. Don't you just love the shaky earthquake in the beginning? Thanks for joining. Well, that'll be, edited out later. So it's time for evening Hatha. This is a time for relaxation and just kind of calming the body through asana, stretch, conversation. Time to hang out and relax, and we are going to make it a very relaxed practice today. Going to start by giving a little shout out to Sacred Waters in Lakewood, Ohio. So Sacred Waters is a kava bar, one of the first, I think, to ever pop up in Ohio. So kava, South Pacific root, and then they also have flowers of botany. So wonderful place to kind of chill out, check the vibe. They do different artist performances, open mic nights and things, and they have a 1-year anniversary coming up in June. So Sacred Waters Kava Bar, I took one of my homegirls there today, and we did botany, so flowers. I did a blue lotus, which is, they have different ones, so some can kind of put you in a social mood, but I'm always looking to kind of calm down, and so the blue lotus is with the flower, with the plant, and it allows like a super chill vibe. As described to me, it's been known to be an aphrodisiac, kind of puts you in set of just meditation, which is what we'll focus on today, and also can be something used or assistance with or known to cause, I guess, like lucid dreaming after wishes. So I'm looking for a night of fun. Even though we're getting into summer, so it is a bit brighter in the view. We are gonna go for more of that meditative state today with a light stretch. So go ahead, grab your mat, grab anything that you'd like to assist yourself with, pillows, bolsters, blankets, and we'll get started. Settling in, we're gonna connect the tail down to mat or ground beneath you, or if you're adapting this to chair, do what you will. Reach out with questions if some of the moves maybe seem a little different and you're wondering how to adapt to seat. Otherwise, once you're settled in, start to kind of shake anything out and welcome awareness to the breath. So we're going to keep with our natural breathing, but just taking a moment to close your eyes and see where that natural breath takes you. Sometimes I say I'm staying in my natural breathing, and that means welcoming cleansing breaths, deep breaths. I start to feel my inhales and exhales deeply within my body, my system. And so they kind of change themselves. The body starts to go, ooh, hey, I want this or that. Let's see where that goes. So just kind of settle in, let the hands rest at the sides or maybe upon the knees a little bit. The elbows are soft, shoulders as you start to lengthen through the spine. And just breathe. If you haven't done so already, you could always also, if you're still getting settled in, put on some nice lo-fi music in the background. Otherwise, it's nice to be within mind and body and really check in and tune in with self without additional sound. A lot of the Eastern style yoga, they did not have a bunch of music going on in the background. It was just the practice and the call-outs. If you watch old videos of classic yoga, Eastern style classes taking place, you'll see that a lot of them don't use music. So just keep breathing, checking in with the breath. What is it asking of you, if anything at all? Are you noticing anything in the body coming up? Any particular thoughts coming to mind? How is your breathing? And as you continue to breathe, when ready, we'll start to welcome some movement, nice and slow in the physical body. We'll extend and lengthen the arms, out and bring them up into alignment with the shoulders. And just feel this pull on either side. So the fingers on the right are pulling towards the right, the fingers on the left are pulling towards the left. The fingers can all be spread apart. Maybe you take a wiggle of them. Deep inhale, and when you're ready to exhale, start to allow the arms to cross over one another. Moment of self-hug, self-love, maybe a smile upon the face and closed eyes if you're in a safe space, and if you'd like a little movement side to side. Starts to bring a little awareness in the belly and the obliques in the back. 3 B's. Welcome stillness at center. Then we'll unravel the arms. They'll go long once again. Deep breaths here. Inhale, expansion. And then when ready to exhale, cross the arms once again. Opposite arm than what was on top before. Now is on top. And a little side to side. Return to center. Extend those arms out one more time. And raise them up towards ceiling and sky. Palms face forward. Exhale, seated forward fold. So you can keep your forward fold as gentle, or you can make it a bit more intense if you'd like. But start to think about lengthening through that spine first as you're forward folding. Don't round the back just yet if you haven't done so. So maybe your fingertips are just out in front of you. You start to feel some tension or anything maybe in the hips or glutes. And as you breathe, keep your head, or do your best to keep your head in alignment with the neck so your vision is maybe pointed down a bit. Inhale and exhale. And then lengthen and relax. So maybe as your arms extend, maybe eventually then your back rounds just a teeny bit, not fully. When you breathe, you feel it in the shoulder blades, the sides, the chest, possibly. And roll it up nice and slow. We're gonna do that again. Shake anything out if you need, make any adjustments if you need with the body. Then this time we're gonna swoop the arms forward out in front. Rise to ceiling or sky, vision can follow. Lengthen, inhale, then exhale, forward fold. So take your time once again, maybe start lengthening through, or maybe this time you went right into rounding of the back and lengthening of the arms. Really just allow your body to soften and fall over the lower body. If you're doing this seated, adaptive, be cautious and know that you feel sturdy in your place. Take one more inhale and exhale, then slowly unravel, unwind the body. We're gonna welcome those knees to chest nice and slow. Hands can assist the legs. Allow the feet to find some grounding out in front of you. And just work with your body here and welcome this sense of self-comfort, self-love once again, and this cozy meditative state of feeling safe in your space. And focus on just allowing those feet to stay connected to ground, but welcome the legs to get a little bit closer and closer into chest and body. With the spine, maybe use the hands around the shins to grow tall. You could even take the back towards a wall if you have one, or high in the seat. Breathe. Putting a little pressure on the belly. Don't worry, that's all right. The organs will move out the way. Make any adjustments that you need as the knees are nice and close. And then we're gonna work on a stretch on the back of the neck. So first we're gonna start with some head circles after the hands wrap around the shins. Starting in one direction. Then when ready, chin meets chest, take a pause, and then take your head circles the opposite direction. Take a pause and hold with the head tilted forward or falling forward, chin to chest, and breathe here. And as you have your hands wrapped around the shins, maybe they wrap further and further where the hands want to reach the forearm or the elbows. Maybe they're crossed over one another or just wrapped in nice and tight around the legs. And as you have your chin to chest, continue to breathe, allowing the chin to connect closer and closer with the chest, the head falling forward more and more, where eventually maybe your forehead or the top of the crown of your head connects close into the thigh or close into the knee or on top of the knees. So take your time. It's going to put a stretch on the back of the neck. Breathe through it. We hold a lot of tension and stress in the shoulders, shoulder blades and neck. You know, when you tense up, it's the first thing that rises when you're in. Sometimes people, when they're in an accident, you know, we can't plan for those things. So the body would say, you know, breathe it out. But, you know, you're in that like kind of impact. So things that impact on us, they kind of rest on the shoulders. So we tense up. So here we're really allowing a stretch through the shoulder blades, the arms, shoulders, a stretch through the neck, and breathing through, releasing any of that tension and stress with every breath. It's gonna take the stretch down the spine. Don't try to force or worry about anything touching anything particular as that chin connects to the chest. Also really connecting with that breath, checking in with your jaws, so in your teeth, so to make sure you're not grinding or tightening up those teeth. You want to breathe and loosen them up. Kind of let the jaw kind of hang loose, or maybe kind of move it around a bit. And just breathe a few more. Self-soothing pose and position. Then when ready, start to raise the head very slow. That's a stretch. That's also an entrance to inversion. Take your time, no rush, no hurry. It's evening hatha for sleepy time, so. And then we're gonna go ahead and release the arms from around the shins, nice and slow. And we're gonna find a butterfly pose. So you could allow the knees to fall out to either side. You could focus on bringing the tail closer into the heels. You could use the hands behind you if you're working on gaining some opening there and a deeper stretch. You could also wrap the hands around the toes, use the elbows to press the legs out to either side. Or once again, as I mentioned, this lovely wall that's behind me, you can use that to help you kind of bring yourself in closer on your butterfly, because then you'll back up and you'll bring the heels in close. If you're looking for a really more deep stretch, we'll have that support behind you, and you can kind of focus on that lower body opening out. You could place the hands on the knees and just breathe here. I've really been taking a focus again on Kundalini yoga and opening up and stretching through the lower body to assist and help in my Vrksasana tree pose, but also to release the emotions and the stuck energy in my lower chakras. Been focusing on my solar plexus again, which is like the mid to center lower chakra. It's that first one after the heart chakra, entering the lower. So the heart is kind of that connection at center, and you have your throat, your third eye, your crown, and then you have that solar plexus, that sacral, and the root, and you also have another one under the feet. So it's just kind of checking in with those things. And so I've been working on a little bit more release, because it's always that balance between the body getting that steady flow. And did a whole evening dedicated to that last night, and I've already been seeing some good benefits to that. So now, like, butterfly, bound to angle, inversions all kind of help with that. Grounding also, self-soothing, self-love, all that good stuff. I'm not using a mat. My feet keep wanting to like open up because it's tight muscles. So the feet are like, let's just loosen. So just working with the body, breathing here. Take another breath or two in your butterfly. And then when ready, use the hands to assist the knees to come back to chest once again, feet connected to floor. Take the left foot out, extend in front of you. If you're with the wall, you can move away from the wall for a moment if you choose. You can keep the right on right side or cross it over left. Find that seated spinal twist. So find your variation that you choose. Gently release. Be nice and slow to take that to the opposite side. And release. Allow the legs to extend, shake anything out. Take a breath. Maybe some toe wiggles. And then we're going to go ahead and find a Balasana child's pose. So be slow and steady to move. Make any adjustments that you need. If you're on wall, maybe you're coming back to the mat. Have bolsters, have blankets, have blocks here to support you for this Balasana. We'll do Balasana, then combo with thread the needle. So big toes touching, tail resting over heels, and then start to take the body forward if you're not already there. You could even have your hands in close for this one and have the forehead resting on the forearms. Take another breath in your Balasana, and then when ready, if your arms were holding the forehead up a bit with forearm and forearm, go ahead and release, taking the arms nice and long. Your vision or eyes are going to be closed, or your vision is to mat. And you're going to go ahead and bring awareness to that right side first. You're going to take that right side underneath the left, thread the needle combo, and find release and relaxation with the crown and upper body flowing towards the mat and floor again. Take another breath, and then when ready, gently release back to center. Make any adjustments you'd like, and then take that to the opposite side. And when ready, once again, release, take it back to center, Balasana. Find your breath, slow to breathe, release. That forehead could reconnect to the forearms or to mat. You could have your bolster or pillow and your Balasana. And then when ready, gently release and gently rise. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna float, kind of going onto all fours. We're gonna quickly find the toes, kind of lifting the heels off the ground. Hands are close. We're gonna go into a yoga squat, moving it back. And the tail's gonna go high. We're gonna raise ourselves into a Uttanasana, forward fold. So welcoming a bit more of an inversion. Take your time, go slow. You could have the knees bending or pedaling out the feet. And then eventually make your way to Uttanasana, taking whatever moves or shakes that your body's requesting. Maybe you're feeling a little tight in the backs of the legs or knees. And really play in your Uttanasana. Enjoy your time here. If you have anything going on with vertigo or the upper body and the crown, feel free to keep your head lifted. But if you don't have to worry about keeping your head lifted, so or if you do, just kind of play with it. Take your ragdolls, take your pedaling of feet or bending of knees. Just kind of enjoy the Uttanasana. Maybe take a halfway lift and drop back down, or twist from one side to the other. Just kind of feel the body here. See if you, with every breath, if you can release any tightness or tension, or if it moves differently through the body. You don't have to worry about how anything looks or how you feel with your Uttanasana today. Like, no one's watching, no one's judging. You know, it's not about getting the hands and palms to connect to the mat. That stuff and the flexibility with that comes in time, or comes with time. You know, so it's really about that Uttanasana, allowing that belly to just rest on the thighs. So you might have the knees bent, palms connected to mat, and maybe you just stay here and you breathe, or you find your ragdoll here, or your yes and no's there. And then in time, you know, maybe you decide you want a little more stretch, but your palms don't want to connect. Reach up on those fingertips, or start to play with that engagement in the belly. And as you're unbending the knees, see if your crown then wants to invert further, so that you're keeping that belly connected to thighs, and you're close in your Uttanasana. And you may notice that maybe a year ago or some time ago you were here with the belly not touching, and eventually you may get there. So just kind of enjoy it. And then when you find a good space, a good place where you're feeling a bit free, go ahead and release your breath and find stillness in your Uttanasana, just hanging. Shoulders hang, crown hangs. Go ahead and welcome a gorilla pose. We'll take the fingers nice and slow underneath the toes. Take a breath and lift and lengthen through the crown. You're going to get a deeper stretch in the back of the legs, through the shoulders and spine. And release. Palms reconnect down to mat. Find your Uttanasana movements once again. And then when ready, we'll go back down into the squat. We're gonna lift the heels and welcome ourselves into a garland pose. See what? And then when ready, you'll find that garland pose as you'd like. So you'll move from your Uttanasana to your garland pose. Take just a few breaths here. Then when ready, release from your garland nice and slow. We're gonna go ahead and find a seated Sukhasana position once again, however you choose to get there. We're gonna welcome our moment for meditation. So a very nice slow and steady flow. Welcome this moment of meditation. We're gonna run this as a meditation for self-love and positivity. So we're gonna run through some affirmations. These cards have been calling to me for quite some time, and they are affirmators. They're quite nice and different. You can't see that, but did bunny riding a unicorn. Which me and my friend talk about our bunny and dog taking over the world. And it's a bunny gonna ride the dog. So instead of the bunny riding a corgi, it's riding a unicorn. So I'm just gonna run through these. There's no right or wrong way to run through these affirmators, affirmation cards, and just settle into your position. Maybe with that hazy gaze or closed eyes, or shake out anything in your seated Sukhasana. Take a little full body stretch. cleansing breath, Ujjayi breathing. Then return to natural breathing with a restful rest. And the affirmations are going to lead us out of class. So if you start to hear me slow down or you don't hear me anymore, then, stay within your flow as long as you'd like. Stay within your Shavasana, your peace as long as you'd like. Or let the cards just kind of sink in and see where they take you. Or use it as a way of, what a nice ending. So start to get into that breath, that self-love, self-worth. I'm going to start with ultimate potential. You can repeat these in your mind. You can repeat them in your thoughts or just let them come into a positive space as you telling yourself this. So it will be an I. So it can sink into the mind. I am this. I am such. I have this. I am enough. I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishment. Tuning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than I ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I have ever tuned in to anything else? Ups and downs. I see life as an incredible ride. I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to let go sometimes, but they're also what makes fun and interesting things happen. When I look back on myself, every experience makes for a good story. Vitality. I am healthy, vital, and strong. My radiant love of life fills me with healthy, vital, and strong cells. Each cell is a warrior. Everyone has its own sword and shield. I dare someone to try and penetrate my cellular army. I don't think so. Wonder. It's a wonderful thing to be in a state of wonder. When I'm a good audience to my life becomes better and better theater. When something delightful happens, I can shout, encore, and be tickled when it happens again. When something maddening happens, I can laugh it off. Either way, I'm glad I have a ticket to the show. Worthiness. I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it. I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell them where it is. If they ask about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of someone else. And then I'll walk away from that guilt very quickly. Abundance. Congratulations. It seems that I'm due for an infinity big piece of abundance pie. Feel like I don't deserve it? Knock it off. It's already plated and ready to hit the table. Reluctant to take it? No way. Abundance pie is big enough to serve any and everyone, even all at the same time. So I'll get my whipped cream ready. Maybe it's dairy-free. Maybe it's vegan. And enjoy the well-deserved metaphorical dessert. Get centered. When it gets to be too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to my center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of my favorite animal. You can take a moment to think of the animal that comes to mind. That favorite animal is holding a magical item floating through space on whatever piece of furniture that comes to mind. Find your breath. Allow these affirmations, affirminators, to welcome themselves into your space, your life, your heart and mind of positivity, letting go of negativity with every exhale. Thank you, and see you next time.